How will artificial intelligence transform your job? Or is your job maybe even endangered because of the advancements in AI? This is the topic of today's video. Hello and welcome. My name is Peter B. and I welcome you here at My First Million, where we are achieving our financial goals together. So since the launch of ChatGPT, the AI revolution is taking the world by storm. And people are asking themselves how this will affect their work or their career in the future. The same questions I am asking myself as well. I am responsible for the MIS team at my employer. So with the MIS team, I am in the midst of the responsibility of integrating different information systems and optimizing processes or even automating processes. So the whole AI discussion comes right down into the field where I and my team are working on. In today's video, we are going to take a look at one specific example, how AI can affect someone's jobs. But we also can use this example to derive conclusions for your own career and for your own personal situation. So the example that we are going to take a look at is payment processing. So payment processing is one of the tasks that usually an accountant is doing at their job. In payment processing, you usually have two sides. You have the invoice, what the customer has ordered and got invoiced for, and then you get the payment from the customer. And as an accountant, you need to match the two, whether or not the information from the invoice are matching to the payments. So you need to check like a customer information, order information. You want to check if the amounts are correct and you really receive the money. So these are examples that you as an accountant would need to check whether or not the payment is matching to an invoice. So traditionally, this task has been very manually. So you can see the original process on the very left side, how this looked like in the past. So you had the invoice and then you receive the payments. So as an accountant, your task, one of your tasks is to check whether all the informations from the payment or all the relevant informations on the payment are matching to the invoice. So the blue highlighted part is everything what is done manually. And basically the line between the two is what the accountant has been doing. He takes a look at a payment, he's trying to find the corresponding invoice and is checking if everything on the invoice and payment is correct. So traditionally, this has been a very labor-intensive task. Then, what my team especially has been working on is on automating processes. So we can put some simple rule sets to automate the matching and processing of the invoices. So we can automate the release of the payments and automate the completion of the invoice process. And for this, we only need some simple rule sets. We need to make sure that maybe the order numbers is matching between the invoice and the payment so that we are able to combine the two. Then as a next step, maybe we can be checking the customer information and we can be checking the amounts, if the amounts are correct, and so on. And if all the logic that we set for the automation are matched, the invoices are automatically processed and the payments are also automatically processed in our ERP system. So you can see the blue ones are still needed to be done manually, but the orange ones are automated. So all the orange ones with the automation logic, an accountant doesn't even need to touch them. The automation process that we set in place is already doing the job of the accountant. And usually what we can automate is the big chunk of the regular situations, of the regular payments. However, there's usually maybe like a 10 to 25% of the cases. It could be like exceptional cases where the logic in the automation is not good enough to process the payments. Maybe there could be, the amount could be off, or we weren't able to match a payment to an invoice, or maybe the customer information were not correct. So in those special situations, an accountant still would need to jump in and review those special cases and see what exactly went wrong, why it couldn't get automated. And then they need to take manual actions for the next steps to process the payments and the invoices. So as a next step now, with the advancements in AI, this automation can get an additional boost. With the help of a machine learning module, those special cases can also be solved more and more. The machine learning module can be trained on those special cases, and over time, it probably will be able to identify the gaps where the simple automation logic was failing, and it can resolve more and more cases over time. Not only it might be able to identify the special cases and what went wrong, but also can provide a solution to it and therefore automatically still process the payment and invoice. So there will be less and less situations where an accountant need to jump in and solve the problem. But in the end, there still might be specific situations where a professional person need to jump in and help out the system. So considering this example, what are the key takeaways that we can use and apply for any job, for any career? So basically, anything that it is repetitive could be potentially be replaced by an automation process or even by an AI enhanced automated process. So if you are working in a field that has to do with a lot of repetitive tasks, you might see a huge transformation of your job ladder in the next few years. In contrast, if you are working in a field where it is very non-repetitive, probably only a much smaller portion of your work can be replaced by AI. But regardless how much of your job is repetitive or not, there will still be a demand for working professionals. As you have seen in the example with the payment processing, there will still be special cases where an accountant needs to jump in. Maybe we don't need as many accountants for payment processing anymore, but there still need to be highly trained and well-informed people to jump into and solve those special situations. So for any kind of job field that you're working in, regardless of how repetitive it is, your job likely will get AI enhanced. Your part of your work will be getting improved through AI. And on another part, AI will be a collaborative tool that will help to boost your productivity. So to anyone watching this video, I strongly encourage you to evaluate your own personal situation. How much of your work is repetitive and could be therefore automated? What are you bringing to the table in terms of skill sets that is also requested or required in the future? And continue learning and improving on those so that you will keep staying a valuable resource for the company that you're working for. And last but not least, I would strongly encourage everyone to embrace the AI enhanced future. Don't try to resist the upcoming changes. Instead, be proactive, learn more, and use those upcoming changes to your advantages. If you're an early user and a super user of AI enhanced tools, you can improve your efficiency, your productivity, and therefore you can be a much more valuable resource for the company that you're working on. In the end, I believe over time we will see some significant changes, but it all depends how are we embracing those changes. And if you are embracing those changes as an opportunity, then I believe there's still a lot of career opportunities out there in the future. What are your thoughts and experiences on the AI topic, especially related to work? Please write in the comments below. I look forward to hearing back from you and reading your opinion on it. Thanks a lot for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and especially I look forward to seeing you winning financially.